Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Ladies of London Season 1, Episode 3, Red, White, and Blue Blooded. Ooh, I thought it was a really good episode. Let's get into it. So I thought it was a really good episode. This is kind of where we start to see cracks in the group. We see Juliette fighting and Annabelle, and I just really like this episode. This one sticks out for me as when I really started to like this show. So we pick up at the Fox pub. We see Marissa meeting with Juliette. They are, of course, both the Americans, and they decided that they're going to throw a 4th of July party. Marissa's super excited because she's getting her British citizenship. And Juliette is just excited to throw a party. So they're going to throw this party at Marissa's restaurant, Bumpkin. And they're super excited. So they decide to call up Caroline and invite her. Caroline says, "You have to be stupid not to see the irony in this. They're celebrating the fact that they threw the British out. I'm trying not to laugh." I love Caroline. We go over to Caprice's house in Notting Hill. There's a very gross storyline here about dog poop and pineapple and bleh. But then we see that Caprice is super excited because her publicist calls. She says, "I've made millions on the way I look because of my sex appeal. Showing my baby bump is scary." Okay, Caprice. She said she's super excited because she's above everyone. She's the lead story. She points out that she's above Caroline. "It sells underwear and swimwear," she says. Oh, Caprice, she's so full of herself. Then we go over to Annabelle. Annabelle is meeting up with her granny and her sister Millie. She says she has the most amazing grandma. Granny feels like she's 18, remembers her age when she sees herself in the mirror. And that makes me love the grandma. It's so sweet. They come from an aristocratic family. They got a title because of murder, which is so interesting. Annabelle prefers rock and roll to posh. She loves to tell us that. And they talk about writing. Then we go to Caroline's office in Fulham. I've read Confessions of a Shopaholic like 10 times. Yeah, I know. And they always talk about trendy Fulham and where the rich people live in Fulham and stuff. And so it makes me laugh. And I think sounds about right that her office would be in Fulham. And her office is exactly what you would think it was. She calls it her playpen. She says she goes in and my sweeties are arranged, my coffee is ready, and my pedicures come to me. Oh, I want to live Caroline's life. That's amazing. That sounds pretty perfect to me. So, of course, she runs Gift Library. People rely on her to find the most exclusive, rare, exceptional gifts. So she's talking to Charles, her vintage jewelry dealer, and we see this amazing bracelet for $143,000. Apparently Kate Winslet wore it for the Titanic premiere, and oh my goodness, it's beautiful. We get to see all these fabulous pieces. She gets to just try them on. She's talking about maybe buying something. Oh, Caroline, I love you so much. You're fantastic. Then we go back to Annabelle. Annabelle is meeting with Conchita PEREZ. She's a fashion designer that Annabelle took a liking to. Annabelle explains because of her ties to Alexander McQueen that she's interested in getting this unknown designer up off the ground and to help her out. She's going to help her put on a fashion show, which of course comes more into play in the next episode. So I look forward to going into that. We have a scene with Matt and Marissa over at Bumpkin. They're trying out different recipes this chef has created, especially for the 4th of July party. I don't know why. I'm still a little bit attracted to Matt. I don't know why. I think Marissa has great style. I love this coat here. There's a lot of times I see something she's wearing and I think, oh, it's so cute. So we're just basically getting ready for the 4th of July party. And then it's here. It's the day of the 4th of July party. Of course, Marissa and Juliette are throwing it. And we see Marissa here in this beautiful outfit. I just think it's so cute on her, and it's so good for 4th of July. She's setting up the party and getting ready. Juliette arrives in this nonsense. Juliette's supposed to be in fashion PR, and I never understand what Juliette's wearing. There's a funny scene where Caroline teases that Juliette got in a fight with garden shears, hence her shorts. And later, I believe it's Marissa that says her shirt looks like a straitjacket. I love it. It does. I don't understand this outfit at all. Anyway, moving on. So Marissa says, if Juliette's hosting a party with you, that means you'll do all the plotting and planning and organizing, and she'll show up on time, or almost on time. But she brings the entertainment, and we see that for sure. We go back to Caroline's office in Fulham. We see Luke. I always have to point out our Luke sightings. So Luke is doing Caroline's makeup, and she asks him to make her look more American for the party. Noelle arrives, and I do not understand this outfit at all. It makes no sense. And then Caroline arrives, and I love this look. She looks so clever. I mean, she just always looks beautiful. And I know I'm a Caroline fan, but I think she looks fantastic. Look at the red, white, and blue. I just love it. I think she looks. So again, she's teasing with Juliette about forgetting her trousers. And Juliette says, when Caroline is rude and sarcastic, it's her way of saying she likes you. I want her to be rude and sarcastic with me. Annabelle arrives. She greets Juliette and meets the children, and everything starts out okay between them. Then we see Caprice arrive in this brown outfit, and I do not get this at all. I just don't love this look. She says she's been in England for 17 years, and she's ultimately become more English. She hasn't celebrated 4th of July in about 12 years. And look who's with her. It's Julie Montagu. So if you haven't watched through this before, we will be seeing her. I believe it's the second season she starts to show up, and she is a very interesting character, I'll say that. So she's very nice, though. She did reach out to me on Twitter, so shout out to Julie. She's very sweet, so we'll see her more. She's coming soon. So the party's underway, and this is where we see the fight happen. And this is where I want to get your opinion. Who do you think is right? Who do you think is wrong? Here's my thoughts. So Annabelle and Julie Montagu are talking, and Juliette is just joining the conversation. And I'm not always a fan of Juliette. I can agree that she can be loud and obnoxious, but I actually thought Annabelle was being obnoxious here. She has a piss poor attitude throughout the party. She said she's wearing all black because she's in mourning. That's fine. But she came to Juliette's party, and then she starts reprimanding her for talking too loud. I am somebody that talks loud, so I guess I took offense to that too, but I just thought that was crappy. I understand the English are different and Americans are loud, but I just didn't think it was nice of Annabelle to do this at Juliette's party. I thought that was pretty rude. So they get into it, they go back and forth. Annabelle keeps telling her to be quiet, and at first you can see Juliette's laughing uncomfortably, and she is acknowledging that she's loud. But it just goes too far, as we'll see here. I just thought Annabelle was wrong. And I'm curious to see what you thought. I just thought Annabelle was being especially rude. Juliette says Annabelle's proper demeanor comes off as rude and that she did the same thing in Polo. And we see that. I mean, Annabelle is just, she has a different way of acting and speaking. But in this instance, at a 4th of July party, you know, that this Juliette has invited you to, I didn't think it was nice of her to correct Juliette repeatedly when she was just trying to talk. And believe me, I'm not always a Juliette fan, but in this case, I'm siding with her. So I'm curious to know what you think about this. So the fight kind of dies down a little bit. We see Marissa give a speech thanking everyone. She's announcing that she's getting her British citizenship. They light some sparklers on some cupcakes, and they volunteer Juliette to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. And it's a pretty funny scene. She's singing, I Can't Sing to Save My Life, but ooh, Juliette's not doing great at all. Everybody's giving sideways glances, and Annabelle is loving that she's falling on her face. And Annabelle calls it the Star-Strangled Banner. Caroline's face here is hilarious and pretty much the face I was making the whole time. So then we see Beau arrive. Beau is Juliette and Marissa's friend. She apparently makes lingerie. And I think it's hilarious because Marissa is yelling, she makes the best underwear, and Caprice is sitting right there. Caprice, of course, also makes underwear, so she was not happy about that. So Marissa and Juliette are pretending to fight over these undies. She brought them red, white, and blue undies, and they're pretending, to fight over them. Well, this is where Juliette screws up. Juliette, of course, is being silly. She's just being silly. Again, it's just silly at a party. And she's showing everybody the undies, and she's saying, who's got the biggest ass? And she's looking around. And that's not cool. You probably shouldn't say that. And she's like looking around at people and making everybody uncomfortable. Noelle has a funny talking head here where she's like, who says that? So Annabelle gets up and she leaves. Juliette to camera says, who do you think you are walking out without saying goodbye and shitting on the party? Annabelle is outside talking to Caroline, and they're talking about, what just went down. Well, Juliette comes out and she calls Annabelle rude. Well, I don't think she's wrong. Annabelle says, I'm not going to argue with you. She calls Juliette special needs. So that's too far. Obviously that's not good at all. That's just wrong. So Juliette was being obnoxious, and she should not have done the, who has the biggest ass thing. But Annabelle was just totally wrong there, acting like that and saying that to Juliette. Juliette's pissed. They keep going back and forth, and Annabelle's saying, keep making a bigger deal out of this, and Juliette's like, keep being ruder, and it's just silly. They're going back and forth. Annabelle is saying Juliette's having a childish fit. Juliette storms back inside and tells everybody how rude Annabelle was being, and this is where Caprice bugged me, because Caprice at Juliette's party is like, well, Annabelle wouldn't just fly off the handle like that. She wouldn't do that. So Caprice goes to chase after her, and she says, she wouldn't just wig out like that. She doesn't understand what would instigate this. She says she's done. Caroline says it's ridiculous that Caprice is chasing Annabelle in the street. Why is she getting so involved in this? And I'm with Caroline. This is where you see an interesting divide in Caroline and Caprice. It's going to flare up big time next episode, but it's kind of gets started here. And that's how the episode ends. So we see a flash of next time. We've got Caroline talking to Annabelle about the fight with Juliette. Caroline offers to throw a baby shower for Caprice at her house, and Caprice is trying to switch it to a restaurant. So this becomes a big deal. It's super, I love this. I thought it was so good. The fashion show venue is flooding where Annabelle's supposed to be helping that designer. And we see Noelle versus Scott. So they have a big blowout fight. So I love this series, and I'm just so excited to be covering it again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love covering Ladies of London. This is my favorite Bravo show probably ever. I just love it. I love the ladies. I love the fashion. I love the wealth. And I love seeing London. I would move to England in a heartbeat. I love it there. Anyway, so thanks so much for watching, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Leave me comments. I love reading those. You can find me here. You can find me on Twitter at Real Recaps. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.